New module. Goodbye to chemistry. Hello, waves. We're in investigation 1.1. Before we start any new unit, you should think about what you already know. Some of us have a lot of schema of things we already know about a topic, and so I want you to go to your guided notes and write down the things you already know about waves. Let's go with three things you already know about waves, and try to think beyond ocean waves. This lesson's focus question is, what is frequency? So this lab is all about defining the vocabulary word frequency. Hi, welcome to a new module called Waves. We are learning some of the very first vocabulary words with an investigation. And one of the very first vocabulary words is called frequency. And frequency is how often something happens. The reason we need to know how to count frequency and report frequency is that waves occur in repeating patterns, and therefore we can measure waves' frequency if we know how to count it. So we're going to start with something very simple, and that is your pulse rate. So here's my arm, and this bone here is called the ulna, and this bone here is called the radius against my thumb. And right on the side of your wrist, right where I'm pointing, is a pretty good artery where you can feel your pulse rate, and it's right against that radius bone. Now, if I go too far over, I feel something that's like a rubber band, and that's my tendon. So I don't want to put my finger on my tendon. I want to come over a little bit further, closer to the edge where there's that artery. Okay, so to take your radial pulse, what you do is you take your other arm and you wrap it around the back of your wrist, and you place your middle finger, which is this one, or my ring finger, which is this one, against the radius, the bone, the radius, and push fairly hard down on that artery until you feel your pulse. So again, it's right here that I'm feeling the pulse, but I'm feeling it with this finger or this finger wrapped around. I definitely don't want to use my pointer finger. That's why I have it up and out of the way. And I definitely don't want to use my thumb. That's why I have it on the back, because my thumb has its own pulse. So I'm going to concentrate now and hold my middle finger down on my artery as I work on counting the pulse. Now in this lab, it asks you to watch a timer or have someone set a timer and count how many times your heart beats or your pulse beats in 15 seconds. So it's helpful to have someone watching the clock for you so that you can just focus on what you feel in your finger. Now, once you have 15 seconds counted, then you will take 15, whatever beats there were in 15 seconds, times 4, because I want to know how many beats I have per minute. And this we're only going to do for 15 seconds. So we're going to count for 15 seconds, then take that number times 4 to get beats per minute. So I'm going to go ahead and start and go 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so Mrs. Mott had 12 beats in 15 seconds, and I would take 12 times 4, which is 48 beats per minute. So while it rests, sitting here at my desk, I have a heart rate of 48 beats per minute. Again, I have to count for 15 seconds times 4. You go ahead and do this too, except you're going to be doing your beats per minute while you're at rest. You're going to be doing your beats per minute while you're lying down, while you're exercising, and you're going to see how the frequency of your heart rate changes when your activity changes. Good luck. Refer to these 4 conditions on your guided notes as you conduct the experiment. You're going to take your pulse rate after sitting quietly. You're going to take your pulse rate after lying down on a clean floor. You're going to take your pulse rate after doing some squats, standing and sitting. So do the squats first, then take your pulse rate. And then finally, you're going to take your pulse rate after doing jumping jacks or running in place for 30 seconds. Don't try to take pulse while you're exercising, but rather right after. So you might recall while I was sitting at my desk that I had 48 beats in a minute. I did that because I took my 12 beats per 15 seconds times 4. Now, what is my frequency if I talk about beats per second? To find beats per second, take the number you have calculated for beats per minute, which for me was 48, divided by 60 seconds, because there's 60 seconds in a minute. And for me, that happens to be 0.8 beats per second. Remember, per is a division word, so I have my dividing sign right here. 0.8 beats per second. So I don't even have 1 beat per second. I'm a little even slower than that. Use the glossary or Google to define the vocabulary words in this lesson. What is frequency, pulse, and wave? Add these definitions and a picture into your guided notes.